If you clicked on this video, you have probably heard these. Even if you haven't played any of the Devil May Cry games, you still have probably heard of these Devil May Cry soundtracks. Then there are some less known ones. These are your Devil's Never Cry and Divine Hates. But these two are still very well known and talked about outside the Devil May Cry community. However, I've seen one soundtrack that nobody talks about for some reason. And that soundtrack belongs to Angelo. Wait, what? Oh, he's called Cavalier Angelo. Okay. And that soundtrack belongs to Cavalier Angelo, one of the best bosses of Devil May Cry 5. So why do I think this song is underrated? Well, because I haven't seen anyone talking about it like I've seen people talking about Bury the Light, and I think it's very good. I'll start by explaining why it's so good, starting from the cutscene. In the cutscene, Cavalier Angelo throws a motorcycle at Dante, which is by the way a hint of Trish being the one inside Angelo. After Dante cuts in half, it is revealed who the person who threw the motorcycle is, and the song slowly starts after Angelo enters the frame. As the cutscene continues, the song remains the same until Angelo charges up I don't know, I'll just call it his sword. And the music gets a bit more intense with more instruments being thrown into the mix. Then, when the cutscene ends and Angelo starts walking towards the player, the song satisfyingly increases in speed until it properly starts. Now, I haven't studied music theory or anything. Actually, I haven't studied anything at all. So I can't exactly professionally commentate on this topic, but it just sounds so good. And it is probably because of the rhythm it has. Here, have a proper listen. Besides the rhythm, there is also another reason as to why I find this song good. It fits in with the boss fight and Cavalier Angelo. It is high action and fast, just like the boss fight. It also fits in with the theme of Angelo-type demons, since its theme is somewhat similar to that of Ultraviolet, the theme of Angelo in Devil May Cry 1, at least in my opinion. Have a listen. After some time, around 20 seconds, the song adds even more instruments to the mix, and the original rhythm of the song disappears for a while, being replaced by the drums and the guitar, until it comes back, now even more intense than before, with the guitar and the drums accompanying the main rhythm. Yes, this is it for the soundtrack, this part loops, so now I think this is a good time to praise the soundtrack even more. This song isn't dynamic, and by that I mean it's not like Devil Trigger where the song keeps building up until you get that S rank. This may sound like negative criticism, but wait, the song somehow manages to feel dynamic. Yes, by the way, I know the song decreases in volume when Angelo is charging up the lightning attack, but that's the only thing it does, and the rhythm doesn't change at all. I know this probably sounds weird to someone who hasn't played the game. How can a non-dynamic soundtrack feel dynamic? Well, it's because one of the first points I've made in this video actually contributes towards this point. The boss fits perfectly with the soundtrack, and that makes every move flow with the soundtrack. This doesn't apply only to the boss, however, it also applies to Dante. Every time you attack, it feels as if your attacks are synchronized with the song. This is very hard to explain or even show because you have to be the one behind the controller to feel it. So if you have Devil May Cry 5, I highly suggest you play this mission again. It's mission 12's boss to anyone who wants to play. In conclusion, I've provided multiple reasons as to why the song is good, with the main one being that it is just like the boss itself, and it sounds good due to the rhythm. Is it better than Buried Light Mission 20? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Goodbye.